Is this kidnapping? Is this legal?
First of all, I want to say there is nothing wrong with us as a nation trying to come up with the best place to handle influxes of immigrants and new Americans. That is good. We should have a national immigration plan. You know who stops us from having a national immigration plan? Republicans. Republicans are the ones who force us to do this in a state-by-state way. And now particular Republicans, particularly fascist Republicans, are trying to ship migrants around the country to make them suffer and try to expose for a MAGA lark and troll the libs. What I believe is happening here is kidnapping. It's not quite true to Hoyle human trafficking, just because the way our laws are written are kind of specific in terms of trafficking for the purposes of sex or labor. Trafficking for the purposes of having a laugh at liberals is not a human trafficking violation, as I read the law. However, kidnapping is a thing. Kidnapping by trick is a thing. Telling people that you were going to take them one place and sending them someplace else is a form of kidnapping. And I can prove that to you if I do the Matthew McConaughey thing. Now imagine they were white. Imagine Ron DeSantis goes up to a group of white teenagers, offers them some candy, and says, hey, I'm going to take you to Disney World if you get in my van. And then Ron DeSantis drives them to Busch Garden. That's kidnapping. You're not allowed.
There once was an illegal in Nantucket whose arrival caused quite a ruckus. Thanks to DeSantis, he did fly, and it made the liberals cry, and all the conservatives said, suck it. A huge shout out to downall.com writer Kurt Schlichter, who penned that wonderful ode to leftist hysteria. And that is exactly what this video is going to do as well. It's time for us to have a little fun at these hypocritical liberals' expense. So if you're new to this channel, I'm Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor. I'm here to daily help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and woke times. So make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button, and let's have some fun. All right, as many of you have guessed, the woke left is having a collective meltdown over Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' policy of transporting illegal migrants from Florida to Massachusetts. The governor, of course, sent 2 planes of illegal migrants to the posh white liberal island of Martha's Vineyard, 80% of which voted for Bumblin' Biden and is explicitly open borders policies, and who have designated themselves as a sanctuary island. DeSantis, in effect, said, hey, you voted for this, then enjoy, right? You're a sanctuary island, right? Well, fulfill your job description here. And the 89% white Democrats who inhabit that island immediately deported them. Within the span of just hours, Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker deployed up to 125 National Guard members to remove the migrants from Martha's Vineyard and relocate them to a base at Cape Cod. And the reason given is that the 50 migrants showing up at the doorstep of some of the wealthiest people in the nation was causing a, quote, humanitarian crisis. That's right, a humanitarian crisis. 50 migrants crossing a border, entering into an island community. This is a crisis, the likes of which humanity has never even seen. You think I'm exaggerating? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who remember once told us that migrants should be seen as a blessing, is now saying that these free trips are a, quote, crime against humanity. How's that for being utterly unhinged? Biden isn't the one who needs to take the cognitive health test. AOC does. She's literally nuts. Keith Olbermann, who still lives in his mother's basement, tweeted out, a reminder that what Governor Ron DeSantis did wasn't a stunt. It was kidnapping and human trafficking. These are federal crimes. The sentence is 5 years per victim. And that tweet, of course, was a reminder of what Trump derangement syndrome can do to your mental health. Then, of course, you've got California Governor Gavin Newsom, gruesome Newsom himself, who goes through a bottle of oil a week to slick back his hair. He's actually going so far as to demand criminal investigations against DeSantis. And get this, he's doing that despite the fact that he himself shipped homeless, quote, back home to other cities with free bus tickets. And as if Gavin Newsom wasn't bad enough, Hillary Clinton had to remind all of us that she still exists by joining the chorus of leftist hysteria, claiming that DeSantis was engaged in, quote, human trafficking. Now, not to get too serious here, but we ought to restore at least some semblance of sanity in the midst of all this woke hysteria. I'm sure many of you are aware the Biden administration has themselves transported thousands upon thousands of migrants all across the nation, including on late-night flights, what Republicans, in fairness, called ghost flights. I saw one personally. I was about to board a plane when approximately 50 or so migrants boarded ahead of everyone else, accompanied by police. They boarded ahead. Even first-class passengers had to wait until they were all seated on the plane. And then I read later that this was all part of a transport program instituted by Bumblin' Biden for these illegal migrants. What these governors, DeSantis and Texas Governor Greg Abbott, as well as Arizona Governor Doug Ducey, what they're doing is legally no different. There's ample precedent for the voluntary transference of illegal migrants throughout the nation. And in many ways, the liberal left have only themselves to blame on this one. And as far as kidnapping is concerned, for heaven's sakes, the charge is legally absurd, as constitutional scholars such as my namesake Jonathan Turley have pointed out. Gang, here's what's really going on. DeSantis and Texas Governor Abbott and Arizona Governor Ducey, these guys are obviously directly over the target. They're hitting the left precisely where it hurts. They're exposing the left's obnoxious and precocious hypocrisy for all to see, and the left knows it. The left knows they're looking pitiful and pettish. They know it. And so they're just encouraging what's left of their woke trolls to take to social media and accuse anyone who's having fun here, not at the migrants' expense, but at the hypocritical leftist expense. They're doing everything they can to try to intimidate them and get them to shut up. But it ain't working. It's not even working a little bit. This is a brilliant tactic. And you want proof? Here's a rabid leftist named Charlemagne the God admitting it.
For months, Republican governors have sent busloads of illegal immigrants to sanctuary cities like New York, D.C., and Chicago with the message of, if you like them so much, they're yours, okay? Well, just in time for Hispanic Heritage Month, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis upped the game by sending 2 planefuls of immigrants to the East Coast elite's favorite vacation island, Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts. I personally think it's genius. But I wish that governors like Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott would give Democratic governors and mayors more of a heads up, because then that would expose the hypocrisy of the Democrats, which is they don't want immigrants here either.
We're hitting them where it hurts, gang. It's no time to let up. It's time to crush the left and shatter the Democratic Party. And it looks like their own open borders policies are ironically about to do just that. As always, make sure you smack that bell and subscribe button. You'll definitely want to check out my latest video I just uploaded on 5 bombshells that came out of Biden's disastrous 60 Minutes interview. You're not going to want to miss it, so make sure to click on that link, and I will see you over there. God bless.